Good morning. This week's reading log deals with predictions. Now, when we're reading, we're always making predictions. We're guessing about why a character would have done something, or what's going to happen to that character next, or why a character may have said something. When we do this, our mind is naturally jumping ahead and making a prediction. We can't help it. We're just naturally curious creatures, and we make predictions all the time without even thinking about it. Here's an example from the book that I'm reading. I'm reading a book called Unwind, and this book is about a dystopian future where teens, if they for some reason are troubled or not good for society, they are unwound or sent off to a hospital where they are killed and their organs are farmed out to other people who are worthy of living. In this book, one of the main characters, Connor, is on the run from the police because he's about to be unwound. And on page 63, he sees an infant crying abandoned on a doorstep. And without even thinking, he grabs up the infant. And even though he's running from the police, an infant obviously would compromise his situation, right? It's going to make it harder for him to hide. Now, the book doesn't tell why he does this, at least not yet. And I'm going to make a prediction. As I read this, I believe the reason he did this thing was because maybe sometime in his past, he in fact had a little brother or sister who was abandoned in a similar fashion, and maybe that brother or sister died. And maybe he feels guilt over it because he didn't do something about it when he should have. So I predict that we're going to find out later in the story that he did this because of guilt, because of another infant that died that he did not save. And that's what caused him to save this infant. So as you're reading your book this week, I want you to think about some of the things that are happening in your book. And at some point, stop and make a prediction. Why do you think the character did that? Or what do you think that's going to cause to happen later in the story? Okay. When you write your prediction, make sure you write down the page number, what happened, and what you predict to happen. This should take 2 to 3 sentences approximately.